Hello you. I'd like to call you in and welcome you to this online training. It's called QI, which stands for Quantum I. QI, learn how to muscle test. You chose this course and I'm very glad you did. And I'm a trainer in Touch for Health, Stress Release and Brain Gym. So that's the basics of kinesiology. And that's why I'm allowed to make this video and teach you how to do the pre-tests of Touch for Health. Because the pre-tests will help you to test in a very precise way. In Dutch we say zuiver. That means like pure. But there's not really a good English word for it. And it's learning how to muscle test without confusion or without distortion or without wrong answers. And the more you do this, the more you practice this, the more you are balanced, the higher your frequency and the more secure your muscle tests will be. This will be a short training, 1-2 hours. And of course you say, well, Merel, that's quite a long time. I only watch shorts on my phone and they're like 20 seconds. Yes, I know. It's long, but it's really short because the whole course of Touch for Health is 4 times 18 hours. So I'm only giving you a little piece. And I'm only giving you the pre-tests and their corrections. But if you know how to do those very well, you will be able to test well. And that is what I want to teach you. I will show you, I can talk for hours. If you put a coin in, I start talking and I talk for hours. That is a possibility. And what I always try to do is keep a little bit of a line into what I'm saying. So I made this. I don't know if you can see it. And this is the content of today's video. And I'll read it to you and then you know what I'll be talking about. Because some people like to learn from little steps to the bigger whole. That's the left brain people. For you guys, I'm doing this. And there are people that love the whole picture and then break it down. And the whole picture is that at the end of this video, you'll be able to muscle test and do the pre-tests and correct them and have a secure tool, a pure tool, to test your subconscious and test with your soul, instead of merely being in your mind and in your brain and in your programs. Because we are a lot in our programs, about 95 to 99% of the time. And what is programmed there is programmed there by our parents. And now that you are a grown-up, you know you don't always agree with your parents. And it's in your sub or unconscious. And you cannot reach it and you don't know what's in it. But sometimes something just comes out and you think, did I say that? Do I mean that? And with muscle testing, we can discover what we really want and what we really mean. So that's for the bigger part people. That's the right brain people. By the way, I hope you have water. If you don't, pause for a second, get some water, and then we go on. I noticed that my mouth became dry the moment I started filming. I always film for me, you, and everybody that will be watching in the future. So maybe it's you that is very thirsty, or maybe it's someone else in the group, but there needs to be more water. Content of this course. There we go. I will talk about the why of this course, for whom it is, what it contains, and how we're going to do this. I will do an ETR, earn the right. Who is Merel? That's me. I'm a kinesiologist, a trainer, an author, and I'm an entrepreneur. And then we'll go to work. and we'll do the Quantum Eye Portal, which belongs to my very first book, which, by the way, right now is the only book that is not available in English. It has been translated twice already. I'll just show you the cover. Of course, this is the Dutch cover because, yeah, there's no English cover. It looks like this. And to that book, when you buy the book, you get for free an online training, and that's called your Quantum Eye Portal. And that's a 100-day system to help you quantum jump to your best timeline, let go of everything that is sabotaging you and in the way, and freeing the energy to start living your best possible life, the life of your quantum eye. So I'll be talking a little bit more about this. So for the Quantum Eye Portal, we'll be doing the PACE. The PACE is 4 exercises from Brain Gym. Brain Gym is one of the trainings I'm a trainer in, and it's one of the basic trainings of kinesiology. So when you start and you know nothing, you start either with Brain Gym or with stress release, or you start with Touch for Health. Most people start with Touch for Health. I always start with Brain Gym because it unlocks your potential to learn again. Because, you know, children can be blocked in learning. Well, we're grown-up children. We seem to cope better, but we just had better coping mechanisms to go around what we don't like or that we are not good at. So activating our potential and our learning abilities for me always is the first thing. Otherwise I can talk to you for hours and you probably don't hear me and don't understand a word I'm saying. So maybe I'll even be doing the PACE a little bit earlier in this row so you can follow. We do the PACE, we set intentions, and our intentions this time will be about muscle testing and being good at it and liking it and being good on doing it on ourselves and doing it on other people, and not only on people but also on dogs and cats and tigers. Oh no, that's dangerous. Horses, maybe. Sometimes that's dangerous too. As you've noticed, I like to make a little bit of jokes because if I do, you go to another hemisphere. When you're learning like this, you're in the left hemisphere. And when I make a joke, you jump to the right. And it's relaxing, but it's also like writing what you've learned on your hard disk or on your hard drive. So that's why I do this. So the PACE, intention setting. Then we do that's the special technique. We do delete and we download and we give thanks. You'll see later what it means. We do a 5-element tapping. That's why I put the book here. Look, I put my very old. It's from 2005, but it's falling apart. Well, not yet, so I'm happy. From this book I learned and studied when I became a kinesiologist, and when I later on in 2008 became a trainer in Touch for Health. I taught from this book, and that I loved very much. Later on we had to teach from other material that I don't like. So I like still teaching from this book because I know where everything is. And I'm now just looking for a picture of the 5 elements, which I will show you. This looks like this. Maybe you've seen it before. And we will be doing tapping of the 5 elements. So that's the end point of meridians. So we can unlock blocked emotions, get the energy flowing, and then be in alignment with our intention. And then we do a chakra activation. And that's it for the Quantum Eye Portal. Then I'll tell you a little bit about the history of kinesiology. And then we start working. All this build up to teach you a very practical way of touching. It's touch for health, and of doing muscle tests from touch for health. To see if you're calibrated, if your eyes and your ears are working well, if the muscle is working well, if you had enough water, if you're not switched there, if you're not reversed. Now you think, Merel, you're saying all these different words and I don't know what you're talking about, but you will in the end. You see how quick you learn. Then you have learned that. I need to make new cheat sheets. The former ones in Dutch, because this training I'm filming now in 2026. The first one I made was in the beginning of in March 2020. And there's someone in that picture that I cannot have on the cheat sheet now. So I need to make new ones. And they will be in the closed Facebook group, private Facebook group. I've made a group, and if you go to Facebook and you type QI, spacious, I don't know what you call it. We say spatie, so that's one space. And then it's called Learn How to Muscle Test. And if you type it in, you'll get the group, and then you say, I want to be a member. And I'll get a message. And if you have bought my package, which you have because you're watching this video, then I'll let you in, and you'll find some material in that group. And that group is also the place where you can ask questions or share beautiful insights or beautiful successes, or say, I've tested my grandma and she was very easy to teach, to touch. You hear I mess up the word teach, touch, test. It all starts with a T. I used to be dyslexic as a child. And sometimes I just make a mess of things. I try not to, but forgive me. Cheat sheets in the Facebook group, and then I have and next ... Because what can you do after this course? Yes, very interesting. So we start with the content. Well, if I'm just talking, I don't need glasses. Content. And we start with the why. Why am I giving this training? Well, as you have noticed of the little surroundings here, this is a camper van. This is not a big house or an office. I used to have, what do you call that? A center with 5 rooms and a very big diner. And we could go in all the different rooms and I could teach. And it was very lovely. I had very big groups. But I now live in a camper van. I, at the moment, am in France. I'm Dutch, but I'm in France. And, oh yeah, that's another thing. Why am I standing here? I'm standing on the place where I always sleep, close to the Merel. Merel is the town hall, I think you call it. Because here around me there are houses and they're keeping the wind away. This whole morning, as I was preparing to make this video, I was watching the video I made in 2020, but I was standing at the border of the sea, or the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, with my nose of the car headed against the wind, and the rain was coming in horizontally. It just started raining again, but I think you'll hear me right. But you hear in the background the raining on my windows. So that's why I'm standing here. Why make videos like this? Well, when I used to live in the Netherlands and I had a house, I'm mother of 3 children and I used to have a dog. So I had a lot of stuff to take care of. And I had this big center. Then it was logical to get everybody come to me, to the center, and we had a good time while learning together. because this is also very nice to do together, because what do you do with your hands, and am I pushing too hard or too little, or I don't have a strong chest, what are we going to do? It's very nice, the dynamic, to do this together. You can do it too by watching the video. Just watch it with somebody who wants to learn as well, maybe a close friend or your mom or your child. But when I was doing those groups, that was very nice, but it was also very time consuming. I was working almost every weekend because I had many trainings. I'm not entitled, I'm allowed to give 13 standard weekends of trainings. And of course, when I had a group that was very enthusiastic, they would come all the 13 weekends. So we had a couple of months that we were studying and teaching a lot together. It was very nice. But now that I call myself the kinesiologist on the move, because I'm a kinesiologist, and in a car you mostly move because it has wheels and a motor. People always say, oh, but where do you stand? No, I don't stand. I drive. I drive every day because I like it, and because I need to fill up my batteries. Otherwise, I don't have a heater. And otherwise, I cannot charge my phones and my computer. But I love driving. When I'm driving, I'm in the zone. I'm completely aligned to my soul and to source, and I get all these energies. And that's why I make so many videos, because every time something comes into me and I think, oh, I need to make a video of that, or I didn't show you that yet, or I need to make a book of it. And when I made the video in 2020, I had just this book. This book made me a writer. But now, look. Look. I have... I'm cheating a little bit. And these are with this 14 books together. And they are all in English, except for the 3 I have here. Deprogramming. Part 1, Heal Yourself. Part 2, Heal Others. Part 3, Heal Your Potential. And with the 3 books come 3 online trainings. And the last month, so this month of January, I've been translating the books and making the new videos in English. So they will actually be available faster than this one. So when you've done this one and you've done QI, muscle testing and stress, then you can go to this one. Well, you actually don't need the QIs for this. This is just intuition. And when you want to do this one, you need QI, how to learn how to muscle test and muscle testing and stress. And then you continue with that. So if you just got started, I have plenty more that you can follow and do. And as you see, I don't have to stop anywhere to teach a whole class of people. And in a way, that's also convenient. It doesn't cost me any time. I make a video of this once, or twice, if you look at the Dutch and the English. But now it's available to whoever wants to learn how to muscle test. So, very good that you're here in your perfect time and moment and in your life. And you can do this from the calm and the nice place of your own home. And if you need to go to the toilet, you pause. Or if you have to get some water, you pause. Or if your neighbor's at the door, you pause. And you just come back and you put it on again. So it's very convenient for me and for you guys. So why an online training? Because of this. And because of another reason. The real training of Touch for Health is, like I said, 4 whole weekends of 18 hours. 18 hours in a weekend is almost impossible. I would used to start at 9 o'clock and end at 9 on Saturday, and do 9 to 6 on on the Sundays, and people had to work Friday and Monday, so they would be in a very long shift. Good thing of Touch for Health though, and all kinesiology courses, is that while doing them you get more and more and more balanced. So actually doing a whole weekend of 18 hours feels much better than being at home, sleeping in, not eating the right food, hanging out with your, I don't know, parents-in-law, doing chores, going to the mall. Really, that costs a lot more energy than coming to a Touch for Health course. So if you are excited about what you learned today and you say, Merel, you say, if I do Touch for Health completely, the 4 weekends, I am then able to balance a person physically, chemically, emotionally, for the now, for the past, and for the future. I'll be able to work with pain. I'll be able to work with a person and align them with their body and their way of moving. I think I'm going to do that. So then this is a very nice introduction, because you already know how to muscle test and you have done it on yourself and on others. So you go to Touch for Health being much more confident already. There are people that want to know how to muscle test, but they don't want to do the whole course. They don't want to be a kinesiologist. You don't have to if you do the course. It's just your own tools for maintenance and staying fit and young and strong. But still, for some it's too expensive, and this is a little price because it's a little course. And there are not many of these courses, because most people give the live trainings and do the 18 hours. Okay. Why you are doing this, I can only imagine why, but I don't know why. Maybe you've heard that that I have these trainings, and that for this one and this one you need to be able to muscle test and work with stress. Maybe you've heard that kinesiology and muscle testing is a tool of truth, and that we as humans cannot discern truth from falsehood, but a good balanced muscle test can, because it tests more than just our programs. It tests our subconscious, and there's a lot of information there, and we can access that through our muscle testing, not through what we have upstairs here. So if you want to make better choices in your life, where should I live? What house? What should I eat? What should I study? What car should I drive? At what time should I go to bed? What kind of movement, physical movement, is best for me? Should I walk or should I run? Should I swim? Should I cycle? In your head you can make up things, but if you muscle test, then you know, because your body will tell you. Your body is so intelligent. If you listen to Kryon, Kryon, he talks about muscle testing and the smart body. We have such an intelligence in our DNA, and with the muscle testing we access that. So you're today getting the first bit of this, but if you want to lead a good life, I think muscle testing is required. I actually think that muscle testing should be taught to little children. Little children know what they want. If they can choose from 2 toys, they do like this with one and they'll get the other. If you give them broccoli and you give them broad beans, I think they'll throw them both away. Maybe they want cabbage. Yeah, maybe they want cabbage. So children know what they want, but of course we as parents say, you must eat this, you must try this. And we start overriding their own sense of what is good for them and not. And that is why we get lost in the woods, because we have no idea what is good for us, because we know what is good for our parents, because they told us. They said, I want you to do this, and I'm angry with you when you do that. So that's how we're completely programmed. But what do we want? Have you ever seen the movie with Julia Roberts, Runaway Bride? And with every partner she would eat her eggs in a different way. And then the last one asks, but how do you like your eggs? How do you want them? And then she went away for some time and she tried all the ways that you can have eggs. And she found out how she likes them best. And I think that's a very important thing in life. In relationships, we blend in and we make compromises so much. But what if we love ourselves and do what is best for ourselves, and from this fullness of love somebody else? That's a completely different relationship. And with muscle testing you learn. So if you start learning this, it is probably a very good idea if you give this training also to your partner or your spouse or your children, and do it all together. Make it something you do. Make it a habit. So, is that the why? That's very long. This will be a very long video. For who is this? Oh, I was going to who. Did you hear that? I was going to who. Well, it's mostly, and this is hard to say, we would say it's for humans that can learn this technique. It's handy if you have arms, because then you have something to press with. So limbs are nice. I do muscle testing also on animals. They don't do it on me, so I think they don't need it. If you give 2 bowls of food to a dog and one is nice and the other is not, it will just eat the nice one and not the other. So a dog knows. And then again, we also very often give wrong food to our dogs, but that's another story, and that's another book. Who's the boss? This is Jane. This was our dog for 15 years. She just died last year here this summer in France. And she was a kinesiology dog. When I was balancing people, I would hear her sigh to release tension. It was very good. Or when I thought, these people need drinking, she would get up and get some water. Very, very intelligent dog. She told me to give her biological food and go to the vets very little and give her no vaccinations after a certain time. So very interesting. Who is muscle testing for? I think I've had 3-year-olds that I did muscle testing with. And then they would say, okay, and walk to their brothers who were 5 years old and just did the muscle testing on them. Very easy peasy, not a problem. I've had people that were older, 60, I've colleagues that are 60, 70, 80 and they're still doing it. So there is no limit in age. What is nice is that you can work with your arms. But if you can only move your fingers, you can test like this. You'll see later on we work with a strong and a weak test. And if you slide your finger over your other finger or your thumb over your finger, these are weak tests. So this is no. This means no and a weak test. But if I say, did you see what happened here? My saliva is now coming. I think of sorbet ice cream lemon taste. I really like that. Look, my body likes it too. I have a strong test now. So if this is the only body movement you can do, or move your finger over some cloth, then you can test. That's all you need. And when you're a little bit further, I've done so much testing day and night all myself that I actually don't have to press a muscle. I hear the yes and the no in my head, in my system. I feel yes, no. So then you don't even need limbs at all. Maybe you need a head or consciousness. As I said, I think it should be important that young children learn this in school. I think it's very nice if you are parents that you know how to do this. If you're entrepreneurs, I'm an entrepreneur and I use this for my business. I can test on which I have 2 businesses. Movimento, that's where I am a kinesiologist and I do these trainings like Touch for Health, Strategies and Brain Gym. And I have another company, it's called Selfinizer. And in that company I make content so that people know how to heal themselves. So that's where I am an author and I write books and I'm also the publisher. Oh, there's a sketch of a Dutch comedian and this guy goes to I think it's Aruba, one of the Dutch islands, and he has to get a plane and he's seen the plane. It's a little Cessna thing outside and he comes to the desk and there's a gentleman there who checks his passport and his ticket. And this gentleman, his check-in for his luggage. That's that. And then he's done that and he wants to go to the customs. And then, poof, there's this gentleman again and he checks his passport. And he says, haha, I'm also the customs person. And then later on he has to go through the gate. And then he says, haha, I'm also the gate person. And then when he comes outside, he says, haha, I'm also the pilot person. And then when he's in the plane and the plane won't start and the engine is broken, he changes his head and he says, but I'm also the repair guy. So that's what I was thinking of about the books, because I'm the writer. I correct them again and again because you do it at least 3 times. Now, before I used to do this with my partner, but now I can do the pages and the numbers and I can make the content table. I have someone that makes my covers. I'm very happy and she now knows everything I give, the way I describe it, that's exactly how she makes it. I saw the first cover, I saw this cover now in English. Perfect. She did it perfectly. I'm happy. And then I start translating. So I translate to either from English to Dutch or from Dutch to English, what I did this month. And when I've written it, I correct and I correct and I correct. And then I make the layout and I ask for the cover. And everything that needs to be done to have it to print on demand, I do. That's all the uploading. And everything that needs to be done to get it on the website, because I have 3 websites. Movimento.nl, Selfinizer.nl for the Dutch books and trainings, and Selfinizer.com, where you found this. So I write all the texts and I make all the videos, and then I send it to Ron, who puts it for me on the website. So I'm the check-in lady, and I'm the customs, and I'm the gate lady, and I'm the pilot, and I also repair the airplane. Yeah, that's for me right now, being an entrepreneur. That's also because I will not let anybody touch my books until they're published, because I need them to be of a very high level, and is the word integrity. It has to be someone that is very balanced, and I usually don't find people that are balanced enough, so then I do it myself. So it's been a lot of me doing the things, but I've been bored a lot last year, so let's work hard this year. Very good. And then start working smart again, because that's very interesting. We're already at what? This course is an online course in which I tell you a little bit about what is kinesiology, where it comes from, how you can apply it, and I teach you the pre-tests of Touch for Health, and if a test is off, I teach you the correction. And I give you examples and I show you how to do this, and then I tell you how you can use it. So maybe you think, Merel, you're talking a lot and I still have not learned how to muscle test. That's true, but you have to do a build-up. When you watch this video again, you can watch it as many times if you like. Then you don't have to do the whole first part, because that you go immediately to, for example, the pace and the intention setting. That I would repeat every time. So then you only have to do an hour or an hour and 10 minutes. And you skip the whole part that I've been talking right now. But I think you need to hear it at least once. I cannot just start teaching you these things. You need context. And how? I was wondering why I wrote that down. How do I teach you this? Well, I teach you in an online situation. So me now in front of a camera and you behind a phone or a computer, or maybe a laptop, or even a big screen like a television. A friend of mine said, "I'm doing your course," and she made a picture and it was me in their living room, and they had a very, very big television screen, and she was doing the course and in front of the television with a huge me with a head like this. She says, "Yeah, everybody knows who is Merel and that I need to study, and they study with me." So find your device. What you can even do, I don't know if you can download this from YouTube. Often you need to pay for it. Why? Because you could put in earphones, please, earphones with a string, so that's no Bluetooth, especially when you go to sleep. But I wouldn't use them during the day either. They're frying your brain. It's we say magnetron. You call that microwave. Yes, microwave. Don't do that in your ears. It's not good for you. That's also why this video is a bit longer, because I have so many things to tell you, and then I put them in. When I start, I don't know I'm going to talk about a magnetron. You understand that. But now it came up. Say, when you're sleeping, if you can download it, that would be very nice, because then you can turn your 4 or 5G off, and you just have your phone, your earrings, your earplugs, and you can put me very softly, that you can barely hear me, and fall asleep with me. Fall asleep with me. Is that not nice? And then and put it on repeat. And then the whole night you'll be getting my voice, my energy. For most people it works. They feel better. And they get all this information about these muscle tests. And if you do this a couple of days or weeks or maybe a month, then you have this completely automated in your system, because that's the old way of learning. You are then in theta, which is a brain wave in which you sleep, and you're like a sponge. You take it all in. Meanwhile, when you're listening, when you're awake, you have this monkey mind that's going in all directions. Oh, what's Merel saying? Oh, what is she saying? And it's very hard to focus and to remember everything. But when you're doing it when you're in a sleep state, it's easy peasy. So that's how you can listen to these videos. I would listen to this video a couple of times. that's also positive. Yeah, how do we say that? If you compare it to a live training, you get it once, and if you don't get it, you miss it. Now you have me on repeat, so you can watch as many times as you like. And you can even watch if you don't want to learn how to muscle test, but you just want to listen to my voice and what I say. Then you just listen, and then you take it all in. Very good. We did the first part, guys. ETR, who's Merel? I won't say I'm a woman. Yes, and I'm human. Yeah. Yes and no. I believe I'm source energy, consciousness, which is a vibration, and a very tiny part. It's less than 1%. Actually, it's less than 0.1. It's more like 0.0, 100 zeros and then a 1 or 2. That's me. So my consciousness is much bigger than what you see here. So saying I'm a woman, saying I'm human, it's all a bit limiting. But hey, we're in this limited creation now, so I'll introduce myself nicely. I'm 57. I'm mother of 3 children, grown children. I live in a camper van. I'm kinesiology student for 25 years now. I have my practice for 20. Since 2008, I'm a teacher in Touch for Health and Stress Release. Since 2012, I'm a teacher in Brain Gym. In 2019, I wrote my first book, The Orange Book. I have 14 now in Dutch and 13 in English. I'm very happy about this last month, about all the translating. It's not already for sale, but I think this week most will come out, so I'm very content. Right now I'm single, and I use kinesiology always. I remember my daughter, I think she was 12, 14 maybe. I was a stay-at-home mom, but in that time I studied kinesiology. And when she was 14, I was still with her dad. And if friends would come along and they had problems, they could not learn so easy, or they had problems at home, I would always talk to them and help them and give them advice. And if they then had left, my daughter would say, "Mom, why are you always talking about kinesiology? Can you not shut that off?" No, I cannot. For the last 25 years, this has been completely automated in my system, and I see so many opportunities, and often it's such an easy thing that you can do to make life better. I'm going to give you a little example right now. You see me drinking, and I think you should drink more because I'm very, very thirsty. And I'm connected to you. But if you have been drinking a lot and peeing a lot and still you're thirsty, then either you're eating too much sugar, because people that have too high blood sugars and too much insulin will become thirsty. You'll probably pee at night as well. And I hope you get yourself something like this. This is called fleur de sel, and this is hand harvested French sea salt, and it looks like little grains. And I do like this. I get some grains, I put them in my mouth, and I let them melt, and then I have some more water. And you depends a bit on your height and your width, and how active you are. Like if you're sweating, say this sea salt contains 84 minerals. Minerals we need. It's somewhere between 3 or 5 or 8 times a day. Have some of this salt. If you still have kitchen salt, use it to defrost your road next to your house, but don't use it for you. It's only natrium chloride, and that's not good for the body. This is very healthy. And cook with this. Maybe you know when you cut yourself and you have some blood and you taste it, it's salt. Your tears are salt. Your sweat is salt. Your pee is salt. We are like an ocean inside. You need to add those minerals. Once you start doing that, you don't need to drink so much and you don't need to pee so much, because the water now is structured water and can be taken in with the blood and the cells. Meanwhile, if you just drink water all the time, you actually flush your minerals away and you get more and more and more dehydrated. So that's what I mean. You never know how long a video with me will be, because I'm always giving advice like this. And I was doing the ETR. I was saying who I am. So I'm a mom. I'm a kinesiologist. I'm a trainer in kinesiology. I'm also a trainer in my own how do you say, in my own books. So deprogramming is to, this one, Heal Yourself, is about finding the trauma under your triggers. Say somebody looks at you in an angry way. Hey, we have sun and blue sky. I love that. Been praying for it all day. Thank you. Right in time. Somebody looks at you in an angry way and you're completely shocked and cannot think and want to cry. And why is this? Is this just because of this person, or is there something underneath? If it is something from this life, maybe you can find it to heal it. But if it is something really old, like 20 generations back in your mom's line, a man, you cannot find it in a normal way. But in deprogramming, we work with the cross. And we can look in generations, in lives, and in densities. For this one, you don't need to be able to muscle test. For this one, you do. And you need the QI muscle testing and stress as well. And here you learn how to test exactly where and when something went wrong, and how to correct it in a nice way. If you're already a kinesiologist, you can work with this on your clients. And if you're all learning this, first do it a lot on yourself and then do it on other people. And once you're no longer blocked or limited in your own limiting beliefs, you can heal your potential. Like I said, I'm not human, I'm not a woman, I'm this vast energy of love and light. And if I say I'm just a woman or a human, I'm limiting myself so much. So with this one, we take all limits away and we download all possibilities and opportunities, and we start flying again. So that's a nice one that I'm a trainer in. In this book, 12 Completion. It's 12 sequences of 12 like hours or star signs or months, but you can also look at chakras and DNA strings, layers, and meridians. And in this book, and numerology. This was the first book in which I wrote about the 12 dimensions I use in Brain Gym, and 3 or 4 of them are mine. I created them. So if you want to work with those, you need this book. I have been teaching from this book as well, and the others. Well, the others are very much for you. I give you so many practical tips and tools that you can heal yourself. That's why it's called Selfinizer. I had a partner once who asked, if you were a product, what would you be? And I thought it was a very strange question. And then later on he said, I know what you are. I said, okay, what am I? And he said, you are a selfinizer. And I said, okay, and what's that? And he said, well, if people are around you, they cannot be anything else but their best selves. Oh, I liked it so much that I took it as the name of my other company, so Selfinizer, and you can become a Selfinizer as well. So if you work a lot on yourself and you're in alignment with your soul and with divinity and with the energy that you came for on this earth, then you'll be radiant and you'll be influencing many people around you, and you'll be a Selfinizer too. And then you can send them to Selfinizer and start studying for themselves, because that's how we do the ripple effect over the whole world. Is there anything more about me? Oh yeah, my mission. It's my mission to heal humanity. And maybe you say, isn't that a little bit a big mission? Yes and no. I have... and probably that's not true. I cannot say I have limited time. I cannot, and maybe I don't want to work with everybody, but I can make the content so that everybody can work on themselves or work together. And this way, healing humanity doesn't have to be all of my doing. You watching this video, you are helping me with my mission. If you feel better, your whole family feels better. Your company is doing better. You're probably healing trauma that has been in your family for generations. You're the trauma breaker. So, good job. Keep on doing it. And I love making books and trainings for that. And the people upstairs keep on giving me new information and putting me to work. So I think I'm not done yet. So many more books to come, many more trainings to come. I think that is enough about me. Oh, what I like very much is that I have 3 children. I have a girl, a boy, and a boy, and the girl and the boy are twins. And my youngest boy is almost finished now, and he's a kinesiologist like me, and he's a trainer in Brain Gym and Brain Gym 101 and 201, and so kinesiology stays in the family, I guess. And that's it's nice. When I need a balance, I go to him. So I have my private kinesiologist now. So that's very nice. Okay, we're going to do intention setting. So this belongs to this book. I have not yet been directed by my oversoul to start translating this one. It has been translated twice, and I cannot work with the versions, so I need to do it myself. So this is a lot more text than the others, but then again, I did a month for 3 books. Maybe I'll do a month for 1. So I'll feel when is the moment. With this book, the Dutch people that buy this, they get for free, they get the Quantum Eye portal. I already have 5-6 years, I have all the videos in English. So if it's translated, then it will be up and it will be for sale and you can get it. If you do really want to work with it, then buy this book, Love, Help, Heal the World. Because in this book, I think it's chapter 3. Yes, Quantum Eye. So the Quantum Eye portal is in this book as well. So if you want to work with it, you can do it with Love, Help, Heal the World. But my first book, the people that buy it get for free an online training of 100 days. And the idea is that every morning when you wake up, you are still in theta and you're programmable. Every night you go to bed, you're in theta and you're programmable. So 2 times a day, you do this program of intention setting, of deleting what you don't want anymore, of downloading what you need, saying thanks for all the good things that are coming to you, or something even better. And then we tap to remove reversals, then we tap to remove blocked emotions, and then we activate our chakras, and then our energy is completely focused for our Quantum Eye and our best possible life. It's all 555 on the clock, which is nice. 5 in numerology comes after 4. 4 is like a very stable basis, and 5 is 1 extra, so it means change. And us doing this will make you change. So if you don't want to change, you can now stop and say, okay, I've had it. I'll do the Seasalt, but I won't go any further. And if you just stayed, be very welcome. It will be in a gentle way, and you'll see what it will do to your life and the people around you, and where you live, and how things are going, your health. So, the intention that I would like to set for today, for us as me, you, and everybody that will be watching in the future, is that we are good at muscle testing, and that we like it, and that we love it, and that we can use it for our greatest good and the greatest good of all. That's what I'd like to put as an intention. So intention setting we do in theta, but it's bright and it's during the day, and we're not in theta right now. How do we get to theta? We roll our eyes up and we look in the inside of our forehead. If you do that, it's hard to do with your eyes open. You cannot see it. So I close my eyes, but I'm looking here. Please do that with me. Take a deep breath and breathe out. And the intention that we're setting, that I'm setting, and that you are setting for yourself, is to explore muscle testing, to be curious about it, to learn what you need to learn, to be able to be good at muscle testing, apply it frequently for yourself and others, for your highest good and the highest good of all. So this is the intention. Now we open our eyes and we're going to do like this over our skull, and we say delete, delete, delete. And then you can stop for a moment, and we delete every sabotage, any program, any thought, any belief system, anything you've ever heard anybody say about muscle testing or read that's in your way why you cannot become a good muscle tester or a kinesiologist. And we have just deleted it. It's gone. And now we do again like this. And we download, download, download from our soul, our oversoul, from our divine parts, all the energy, all the talents, all the information, all the vibrations and frequencies from our multidimensionality that help us to be better at muscle testing. And then we say thank you, thank you, thank you, for it is already so, or something even better. If there's something better than muscle testing, I'd like to know. Then, if you look here, you have a line in your hand, and it ends just like a centimeter under your pinky. and we're going to do this. By the way, I've got this message from Roy Martina. I used to train with him, and he did this intention setting, and I like it very much, and I asked if I could work with it, and that was okay. And we didn't do the pace, but we'll do it afterwards. That's interesting. I wanted to do it first, and now we're not doing it. We'll do it later. We're tapping, tapping, tapping. And we say, I love and accept myself. I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. Even when I don't really want to muscle test, and I'm afraid to do it, and I'm afraid I'll do harm, or I'm afraid that I won't be good at it, or I'm afraid that people will laugh at me, or say that I'm crazy, or say that it's far-fetched, or that it is wrong to do this. And I love and accept myself. I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely when I'm curious to learn everything there is to know about the muscle test and how to be good at this for myself, on others, for my family, for the people I love, for the people I work with, and use it for my highest good and the highest good. We're going to repeat. I love and accept myself. I respect myself. I think myself worthy completely. If I think I'll never learn how to muscle test, this is so difficult, I will not learn this. And I love and accept myself. Respect myself and think myself worthy completely when I know that I will learn this. This is fun. I want to know more of this. And what can we do with this? How can this be helpful in my life and that of others? One more time. I love and accept myself, and I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely when I think it's a bit difficult and maybe people have an opinion about this, and maybe my mom won't like it, or my husband or wife. And I love and accept myself, and I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. And I don't really care what other people say. I like it. I love it. I feel this works for me, and I feel myself grow, and it's nice to learn new things. And I'm thinking of all the possible ways how I can apply this to my life for my highest good and the highest good. Very good. So this was the part where we did the tapping for the sabotage. And we looked at it from all perspectives. And we said, no matter how negative or how positive, I still love myself, I accept myself, I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. So that's very nice to say. Then, in the 5 elements, we are going to tap. This is small intestine, and it belongs to the fire element. We have fire, wood, metal, water, wood. What did I say? Fire, earth, metal, water, wood. And for the earth, we're going to do right now, we're going to tap away blocked emotions. And we're going to work on the spleen meridian. Earth is stomach and spleen. And for the spleen meridian, I don't know if you can see this. It's just besides the breasts and where the curvature of the bra would be. So you tap here. You can tap on one side or you can tap on 2 sides. And we say, I love and accept myself. I respect myself. It's a bit strange angle. I respect myself and I think myself worthy when I'm worried. When I'm worried what others say and if this will be accepted. And I feel a fear that I will not be good at this or good enough. Okay. And I love and accept myself. I respect myself. And I am worthy completely when I feel that I will thrive in this, that I am empathetic, and that it will be easy for me to connect to other people and do muscle testing. Then we go to metal. And metal has to do with lung and large intestine. And we're going to tap lung. And it looks like this, because the lung meridian is on the... It starts here and it ends on... Right? It starts here and it ends on the thumb. So we're going to do this. And that has to do with sadness, letting go, and taking in your space. So we do like this, and we say, I love and accept myself, I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. When I feel sad and I don't want to learn something new, I have no space in my mind or my body to learn anything new, and I want to hold on to my old life and all old relationships and situationships, because I'm afraid if I let go of them, I don't know what will come back. And now at least I know what I have. I love myself, I accept myself, I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. When I let go of what no longer serves me, what is no longer for my highest good or the highest good, and I open up and I take in my own space, I breathe in new air and new possibilities of whom I could be and whom I could be with, and where I could live and where I could go and what I could do in life. Very nice. Then we go to the water element, and it's about fear of being not good enough, and fear of not being loved, and to connect and to be abandoned. And the kidney meridian, it's kidney and bladder in the water element, and the kidney meridian starts under the feet, makes a loop at the ankles, comes up and ends here. And it's just under the collarbone, and we'll be tapping like this, and we say, I love and accept myself. I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. When I feel fear, I feel fear of judgment and not being good at this, and this is new, and I don't know if I'm intelligent enough, if I can understand this, and I'm afraid the people that know me will not like the new me, and I'll not be loved. And we tap again and we say, I love and accept myself, I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. When I let go of all fears are just projected outside of me. Fears don't really exist. I realize that now. My bigger fear actually is of standing still and not developing and not growing and not living my potential and my best possible life. And I don't want that fear, so I let go and I follow my heart, and I do this, and I follow my joy. And I know that with learning how to muscle test, I'll be fearless, or I'll have much less fear, and I'll feel much better and healthier and energetic when I have no fears. It will all turn to love. I like that. And then we go to the wood element. So that's liver and gallbladder. And we'll be tapping for the liver. And liver is on the right hand side under the breast. So that's here. And it has to do with frustration and anger and remorse and guilt. So we tap here. And we say, I love and accept myself. I respect myself, and I think myself worthy completely. When I feel this frustration in me, this anger that life is the way it is, and I don't know how to change it. I don't know where to start to change it, to have the energy to start it, to change, because I'm stuck and I don't know how to do this in a different way. And I love and accept myself, and I respect myself, and I think that I'm worthy completely. when I love the idea of having energy for new things and being curious and growth and developing myself and developing together with the people I love and meeting new people, new situations. Ooh, very good. That was 5-element tapping. Good. And now we're going to activate our chakras. And in 3D we have 7 chakras. In 5D we have 12. And it doesn't matter which one is blocked right now, but we're going to unlock whichever chakra needs it, or that is safe for us to start opening right now. And I'll be doing this in front of my heart chakra, and I'll be doing this on top of my crown chakra. And we're going to pour in beautiful things, beautiful sentences. So I'm doing this and this. We change all the time, and I say, I feel loved. I feel loved and I feel supported. I feel I'm being guided on my path. I believe my soul and my oversoul and my divinity is with me to guide me to do the best things for me and the people I love and for the greatest good. And I'll have all the support and the light and the love and the talents and the means to go into this new path of muscle testing and kinesiology and see what this self-development can bring to me. I'm very glad that I'm learning this now. So I'm grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you close. So I did it very long and extendedly right now, but this is what the Quantum Eye Portal is about. And actually in front of it normally goes the pace, but when you do the exercises in the morning, when you're still lying in your bed, you do exactly what we did right now, and then you get out of bed and you do the pace. We'll do that now. When you do it in the evening, you'll do the pace first, and then you go in your bed and you do what we did right now. So for the pace, I'll be standing up right here because I'm going to cross crawl and I want you to see it. So the pace starts with drinking water. So have some water and sip it. The water will help you fill up the water in your body. We are mostly water. All neurotransmitters correspond with each other through liquid. So you're smarter when you have drunken water, and you're much quicker with your mind. It gives energy. By the way, the word pace in English, it means like finding your pace, your rhythm, your way of learning. And everybody's pace is different. It's very nice to say this at halfway in the video, but in YouTube you can click and there's this little wheel and you can click and you can change the speed of speaking. So I can speak quicker and slower, whatever pace you like best. And this is for all my videos. I've almost 200 videos that you can find of me that will help you. Most are free, by the way. Then we're going to rub the belly button, not the belly button, the brain buttons, and this will help activate our eyes, our ears, our hemispheres, our hands, our body halves, and our legs. Then we do the cross crawl. This raises our energy and our heart rate and our breathing. So we activate the whole body in a 3D setting. And then we're going to do hookups. And this makes us calm again and safe. And we need to be safe to think straight, to have energy in our prefrontal cortex, and to have our immune system kick in. So this all together helps us to be ready to learn new things. So we already had some water. I'll have some more because I'm thirsty. Please have it too. Then I'll stand. And I'll make a little pistol of my hands. This is a neutral way of touching. 2 fingers are neutral as well. This is the right hand. So the first finger is a plus, minus, plus, minus. The other hand is exactly the opposite. So if this is a plus, this is a minus. So minus, plus, minus, plus. All fingers together are neutral and thumbs are already neutral. If we touch, if we rub, we do it always with a neutral touch. So we use a thumb and 2 fingers. And we find the dents under the collarbone. So that's there. You can do it over your clothes, and the other hand is on the belly button. Oh, and you rub this and you massage. What you can do if you like is go with your eyes completely to the left and to the right and keep rubbing and move them like this, because when we're stressed our eyes are in a freeze, and by doing this they unlock, so we see better. And this helps also for reading. Reading will be much easier. You won't skip words. Now we change hands. This is also a little piston, or 4 fingers and a thumb. And you can look to the left and to the right. You hear me make sounds? It's like sighing and burping, because I'm letting go of certain energies and I'm being charged again. And you might too. Okay, now we go for the cross crawl. I'll do it a bit like this, then you can see me lift my legs. So it's like this. So it's my right hand and my left leg, and my left hand and my right leg. It's a bit like marching. You don't have to touch, but you may. And it's important that you do a lot of moving in the shoulders and in the hips. It's not like this or this. It's really lifting and moving those shoulders. Ooh, there are many variations. If you want nice abs, you can do it like this and do crunches. Of course, you need to work a lot harder. Very good. After this, we're going to do hookups. It looks like this. You make your arms long, cross your wrists, clench your hands together, pull them in. I have left in front, so I'll put my right leg in front of my left leg. Now I have double crosses. We're going to do a special breathing, and I need to say something else. If your balance is not good, please sit down now. If your balance is good, this will make it even better. So breathe in through the nose with your tip of the tongue up to your palate, and breathe out with your mouth. And close your eyes. And as you breathe that way, go inward and feel that your heart rate is going down, your breathing is going down, my voice is going down, and you feel you're calming. This is a very nice way to tell your brain that it is safe, because if there was a saber-toothed tiger, this would really be a strange pause. So my body is actually saying to my brain, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. I can calm down now. I can go out of fight, flight, and I'm safe. Use this whenever you need it. Use it when you want to fall asleep. Oh, very good. Now open your eyes. Put your fingertips together, feet apart. I always start to move a little bit when I do this. Do the same breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now you keep your eyes open and you look around. You look where you are very often colors are different, more bright, clearer. Very often your eyes work better now. And you feel that you're curious, you want to know, you see things that you didn't see before. And that's good. We're learning, so we need to be curious. Very good. So this is the pace. I would suggest you do the pace at least twice a day. And you can start the day with the pace, but it's also nice to do it after lunch or to do it when you come back from your work or from school and start your family life again and have cooking and interactions. People are much more sociable when they've done the pace. In school there's a lot less fighting. It's really nice because people are not so on the edge. I'll just check with my list of the content. How are we doing? I'm going to tell you something about the history of kinesiology. I must make it a little smaller. The history of kinesiology on planet Earth as we think it is. Because when I test, I have been a kinesiologist for many lives. And I didn't always look like a human. So other forms use kinesiology as well. And my son Niels, that is now becoming a kinesiologist, has much more experience than I have. So I have like a couple of lives that I've done it. He has done it over 80 or 100 lives. So he's very experienced. For him, actually, the courses are almost boring because he understands them right away. But he has other challenges like writing his essay and doing things that look like school. So that's for him. He's doing a good job. So if we stick to the story that has been told to me, kinesiology, kinesis means movement. Ology means the study of. So the study of movement. Every physiotherapist and every doctor has had a subject in their teachings when they went to school, to university, that was called kinesiology, because it has to do with the apparatus of the body. So the bones keep you upright and stretched out, and it's the joints that are being moved by muscles. So there's a contraction and there's an extension. And here this one is pulling and now this one is pulling. This is the biceps and this is the triceps. So our bodies are being moved by muscles. And kinesiology is a lot about muscles. That's why the class is called QI, Learn How to Muscle Test. Very good. You're still awake. You can open a window, have some fresh air. Doing a great job. You can also pause, go for a little walk, come back, and then we go on. I believe that osteopaths and chiropractors have been around for some time in America. I don't know how long. But at least the whole other century. And this kinesiology, we don't call it normal kinesiology, but we call it applied kinesiology, because a doctor will just like push your leg very hard to see if the muscles are functioning, and we do it much softer because we want to see if the feedback loop is intact, and you don't have to press that hard. So we look at it in a different way. And we use it not only for muscle testing, but we use it also as an indicator for structure. I'll tell more about this. Chemistry. So this is about water, but also vitamins, minerals, and things like carbohydrates and proteins and fatty acids, and what food is good for me, or what allergies and intolerances do I have. And it's about emotions, and it's about energy, meridians, aura, chakra. And there's many more things we can work on. So applied kinesiology is much broader than, for example, what a physiotherapist would do. We don't just work on the body, we work on the whole system. So this is a holistic point of view. And chiropractors in the 50s, in the last century, discovered that even though they correct vertebrae of the spine often to the same clients, they keep coming back every 2-3 weeks and the same vertebra is off. And they really started scratching their head and saying, what are we missing, or what can we do to help this client so the spine stays straight? Because a straight spine allows energy to flow well, and when bones and joints rub together and the pressure is not equal, there can be damage and there can be pain and there can be a nerve in the middle. So for chiropractors, the spine that's nice and straight stands for longevity and health. If you look at the spine, it's like blocks that are in a tower, but they're not standing loose. They cannot fall away. They're all standing in muscles on both sides. And muscles can, it's more like this, can contract and they cannot let go. They can only contract. But the other side lets go because of the contraction of the other. So they always work together. It's agonist and antagonist. They always work together. They work in pairs. So if you have a vertebrae that's standing more to the right and you test the muscle attached to it, then this one is cramped and short and this one is very long. A physiotherapist would be working on the cramped one because here is where your problem is. This is where the pain is. And this is, if you feel, here's the knot. They will be working here. But a kinesiologist will be working on the weak side because this one is not pulling. If it would be pulling, this one would let go. So for us, the problem is not in the cramped one, but in the too loose one. So we have in Touch for Health 4 ways to make a muscle stronger again. We have points on our body that we can rub, and they're called the neuro-lymphatic reflex points. And they activate the lymph, and that activates the muscle again. So the toxins in the muscle can let go, and the muscle is working again. That's one. We have points on the head that we can hold, and they're called neurovascular nerve reflex nerve points. And they have much to do with emotions. So you can hold it, and if the emotion is gone, then the brain activates again and the muscle can activate again. We can work on the meridian, so we can, for example, give more energy to a meridian and then the muscle becomes strong again. Or we can really work the muscle. So we can work where it's on the origin and where it's attached. And we can really rub it. Or we can work on the belly of the muscle and make it stronger. So we have 4 ways to make muscles stronger. We have more. We can work with chemistry, with emotions, with energy. But this is the 4 things we do in Touch for Health. And this was discovered by Dr. Goodhart in the 50s, and was being taught to doctors and chiropractors as a post-universal studies. And it was called applied kinesiology. And there were 12 chiropractors in a group and talking about this and about this muscle testing and the kinesiology. And one of them was not Matthew T, that's his son, John F.T. He died a couple of years ago. And he said, but yes, this is such fantastic material. Why only teach it to doctors? Because the doctors were not that interested in keeping people healthy. And so it wasn't taking off as good as they had hoped. And he said, but why not teach it to laymen? So people who have no medical knowledge, but who just want to be happy or healthy or balanced or aligned with their bodies. Why not teach it them? And George Goodhart said, it's all very nice. Yes, I agree. But I have no time or intention to do this. So if you think you need to do this, go ahead. And that's when Touch for Health was born. And he started teaching laymen, so people that have no medical knowledge of the body. And he started teaching them 14 muscle balances, or 28 muscle balances, or 42. And that became the foundation of Touch for Health. And he had a great vision. He wanted it to be taught all around the world. It's being taught now in, I believe, more than 53 countries. And he wanted in every family or in every company there to be at least one person who could work with this. Because his idea was, if we can keep people healthy, energized, aligned, then there's no reason for them to get ill. So this was really more thought of as prevention and not curation. So not when people are ill and then heal them. It can be used for that as well. It's a system that regenerates all systems in the body. It reactivates the healing possibilities of the body. So I think it's a very beautiful technique, and I hope you're getting a little bit interested now. If you look at a tree, you have this big trunk, and then you have all those branches and little branches, and you have leaves. Touch for Health is being seen as a trunk, so the basis of muscle testing and kinesiology and holistic healing in this way. And there are many branches that are very, very interesting. Two of them I'm also a trainer in, and one is called Brain Gym. This comes from Paul and Gail Dennison. Paul had many problems when he was young for learning and with speech and moving. And I believe also with sight. And he did finish university, and he started working with people who had problems with learning and reading. And he discovered 26 movements with the body that you can make to heal the brain, to balance the brain. So learning becomes an option again, and easier and fun. They have a beautiful Facebook page. It's called Hearts at Play. And what they say for Brain Gym: move, learn, bloom. Because if you no longer move, you're stuck. You don't learn because you have a fixed mindset. And then you cannot bloom. So I really like that. Brain Gym, by the way, saved my butt when I was 22. I was studying Italian literature and speech, language. and I had to do an exam on a very thick book of the 1300s of Dante Alighieri. It was called La Divina Commedia, so the Divine Comedy. And it is written in the first Italian language that existed. Before they spoke Latin, but the first Italian language. And it's so hard. And the subject is terrible. And I was so stressed because I thought, if I'm not passing this exam, I will not end my studies. And what will come of me? I was really completely stressed. And I was reading about 6 pages per hour. And my fear of failing made it worse. And then I don't know where she came from. I never checked, but I think she must have had wings. I got a new neighbor. And she said, "May I help you?" And I said, "How will you help me? Will you read it for me?" She said, "No, I just did this course. Come." And she made me cross crawl. And she tested my arms and they went down. Then I had to do a homolateral movement. So I'm moving my right arm and my right leg. And my left arm and my left leg. And I did it a couple of times. And then she tested it. It was strong. She said, "Oh, you're stuck in homolaterality. You cannot connect your 2 hemispheres at the same time. Probably your corpus callosum is blocked." Then she checked my 26 letters that we have in the Dutch alphabet. And I had 21 weak tests. So they were not integrated and 5 strong ones. So for me, reading was like seeing all these doodles, not recognizing them except for the 5 that I did know. So reading for me was quite an adventure. I was 22. I had been going to school since I was 4. And still this was not automated. And for 3 weeks she let me cross crawl a lot. And she made me do with cross big lazy 8s, and I had to follow them with my eyes. And I would have to write the letters of the alphabet in the lazy 8. So for me, going that way, this is the A. And then doing the 8s again. And then you would go to the B and doing the 8s again. So I had to do this for the whole alphabet. Several times a day. And the cross crawl. After 3 weeks, my letters tested strong. My cross crawl tested strong. And I could read 12 pages an hour. And I made it through the exam. And ta-da, look at me. I was 22 then. I'm 57. I don't know what I did, but I made it to 57. So I guess something went right. And what I didn't know then, what she did with me was called brain gym. Kinesiology. It came to my life when I was 22. So it saved my butt and it influenced my life completely ever since. So that's why I'm so enthusiastic and that's why I want to teach you. So when we do the pace, so drinking water, brain buttons, cross crawl, and hookups. These are 4 of the 26 exercises of brain gym. And I keep myself, my body, my system totally balanced with this. So if I can do it, you can do it. I would say you could just simply buy a brain gym book. There are many. And start reading. If you're a reader, there are 2-day courses and it's called Brain Gym 104. And you just learn the 26 movements and the learn flow and the pace. I would recommend you do the 101 and you do 2 weekends and you learn what I just said, but you learn how to balance yourself, your sight, your hearing, your movements, being centered and feeling safe in the world so you can participate instead of always pulling back and having focus. So let me know if you want me to give the course. I think I can do it in English. I speak 5 languages, but maybe I can do it in Italian. I think French is too hard for me and German is too hard for me as well. But I can do it in Dutch and English, maybe Italian. So Let me know if you want it. You can see I'm very enthusiastic about it. Let's have some water. And another branch on that tree is called stress release. And it is put together by Wayne Topping. Wayne Topping. He comes from New Zealand and lives in England now. And luckily he's still alive. Paul is still alive. John is not. And I learned from him. So I'm very happy too. He has many, I think it's easy way to do it, ways to balance emotions. It comes from the same direction as what is being used very much at the moment, EFT tapping. So they tap the ending points of the meridians. We do exactly the same, but we test which one to tap. So we don't do them all. We don't only do the one that's blocked. Maybe you know EMDR. We do exactly the same thing. We do eye rotations, and but we test. So we don't do the whole thing. We test. So if you need something for your emotions and you do EMDR or EFT, you get like a bucket. But if you only needed a drop, then you would get it in kinesiology, because we can test which drop you need. So I'm very happy also to be a teacher in stress release. I still like it very much. There's another training I will be making tomorrow, and that's called QI, muscle testing and stress. And I'll teach you the basics of stress release. And I'll teach you how to overcome sabotage. And if you have that, your life will change completely. So if you like this, you'll probably like the other one as well. So this is a little bit the history of kinesiology and the material that I use and that I am teaching you. And we're now getting to the real muscle testing. Let's see. 1 hour and 42 minutes talking all about the context. And now we're going to do the real stuff. Are you ready? If not, pause, run outside, breathe. Breathe. Do the pace. Come back. Are you fresh? Good. There's an upside and a downside to what I'm going to do now. I'm going to teach you how to muscle test on me. So you learn immediately how to do it on you. I'm closing a window, by the way. Just a second. There's another car parked next to me and the energy is not the way I like it. So I just closed that side and now the man doesn't exist. The good thing is that you'll probably have yourself around always. So you can always muscle test yourself. So that's a good thing. You learn it directly by working on yourself. Muscle testing on other people is quite something else. Because they have different muscle tones. And some people don't really understand what to do. So they give you an arm, but the arm is like spaghetti. And you never get a strong test. Or you get very strong man with very strong muscles. And you're this tiny lady and they're so strong you could hang on their arm and they would not move. So that's interesting. Or you could work with children or on the paw of a dog. It's very nice to try it all, because it will give you a lot of intelligence on muscle testing and on connecting to other people and other creatures. So I'll show you everything on me, and then I'll do, when we've done all the steps, I'll do a demonstration as if I was testing somebody else. Then you get the idea of what that looks like. So please have some more water because it's very dry. Guys, it's getting really blue and really sunny. I don't know if I can do this with the noise, but let's see. It's quiet now. A bit of fresh air and the sunlight can come in. Oh, it was raining and storming so hard. And then I had a contact with a friend of mine, and she's in the Netherlands, and she said, oh, it's so sunny, it's so beautiful, I'm so much enjoying the beautiful weather. And then she said, I'll send some sunlight to you. I said, yes, thank you. I hope she still has sunlight because we certainly have it now, and I'm very, very happy. When I'm done with this, I'll go for a nice walk and walk in the sun. So I'm happy. Muscle testing. Yes. Okay. I already showed you a little bit that muscles work together. So you have pulling in, pulling out. When this one is pulling in, this one has to relax. Because if this one would stay strong, I would not be able to bend my arm. We will be mostly working on the deltoideus anterior. This is the deltoideus. It's the nice muscle on the arm when people are really strong, when they have good muscles. You can see this V-shaped muscle here. This is the middle part and it belongs to the lung meridian. And this is the front side. So the anterior means the front side. And this belongs to the gallbladder. And it's quite a strong muscle. And when you're doing a lot of muscle testing or people are lying down and you want to test them, it's a real nice muscle to do a lot of work on. And it's handy because it's also close to the face. So you can talk to someone and be in the proximity and test. The muscle starts here under the collarbone and it attaches here to the upper arm. And the first parts are more like tendons and the middle part is more like the muscle. And when we test a muscle, we bring the arm or the leg or the foot into contraction. So when the muscle is shortened, that's where we go to. And then when we push it versus elongation. I'll do this standing up, then you can see it a little bit better. So if I want to test this muscle, I bring my arm forth about 30 centimeters and it looks a bit like this. It's not much more. It's like this. And then when I test it, I put my whole hand over the arm so it's above the wrist, because if I did this, also this joint would give me information and that's too much. So hold it like this and then you push it down, and you push it down 2 seconds with 2 pounds of pressure. In the Netherlands that is 1 kilo, so that's not so much. And the arm, for it to be a strong test, may not go down more than 2 inches. So it's 2, 2, 2. 2 seconds, 2 pounds, 2 inches. So if I push with a whole hand or with all my fingers, I push and this is a strong test. And if I push like this is a weak test because it goes down more than 2 inches. And I don't push hard or I don't push rapidly because then you hurt the muscle. You push softly and you build up your push. But if you feel that it's locked and it's going nowhere, then you don't have to push anymore. A weak test will become weaker and weaker and weaker, and a strong test will actually become stronger and stronger. So this is how you test. And for the other arm, you have a muscle here as well, and you push. This is a strong test, and if you push it down, it goes down. So what I'll be doing is I give you a piece of information, and if you want to try, you pause and you try it for yourself and then you come back. I'll keep on filming but you can stop whenever you like. Now that you know how to test a muscle, in this course we are not making a muscle strong that was weak. If we have a muscle that is weak, say this one is strong and this one goes down, this is information. We would work on this with stress release, but we're not doing that now. So then you try to find another muscle that you can work on. For example, the deltoideus medialis, so this one, you just lift your arm horizontally. You can do it like this or this, flexed, and then you push on the arm. And if it's strong and this one is strong, then you can at least work with these two. So you're working on this muscle. Okay. Now, to give yourself a challenge to see if you can make the muscle weak, you can have something chemical. I'm thinking of what I have chemical here. I think I have nothing. This is not so chemical. This is very natural. It's biological. But this is a lip thing. Normally I do this with a marker for like a marker to write with, and they're very synthetic. So I have a strong muscle then, and I let somebody smell, and then I push, and the arm goes down. Then you have a chemical test, because your body is reacting to the chemical, and if it is okay to the body, it will stay strong. If the body says, ooh, no thank you, I don't want that, you'll get a weak muscle. This is not good for me, so you get a weak muscle. So you can pause now and test for yourself if you have a strong muscle, and then when you smell, you can make it weak. And then you come back and I'll see you again. Very nice. I was playing that this was weak, otherwise I wouldn't put it on my face. A second way to check if you can make a muscle weak is by using emotions. So you can have your muscle and then think of something that you're very happy about. So you have a strong muscle. Yes, I'm very happy about it. And then you think of something that makes you sad, or it makes you angry, or you're troubled about it. And when you push, it goes down, because all energy goes to that, and you cannot keep the arm up. And for the other arm, you have a strong test, and you think of something nice, and it's really nice and a strong test. And then you think of something that went wrong or that you're hurt about, and then the arm goes down. Always end with something positive. So think of the positive thing again. Oh yeah, that's a strong one. Oh yeah, that's a strong one. So you can pause and do it for yourself. Very good. Welcome back. And we can test verbally. So if you have a strong test, a yes is strong, a no is weak, and a yes is strong. And I'll always do that sequence because I want you to end with a strong test. That's better for the body. It's better for your energy. So if I have a strong test and I say yes, and then I say no, and then I say yes, this works well. So I can verbally test on this muscle group. Or on the other hand, yes, no, yes. So this one works well as well. So I have two arms that I can test sentences on. Very nice. You can pause and do this for yourself. And welcome back, of course. And something else we can do for to see if a muscle works well, we can use the spindle technique. So I told you the muscle starts here and it attaches there, and in between the tendons there's the muscle belly. And if you do a pinch in the muscle belly, you're actually giving a signal to the muscle, to the vertebrae, to the brain, and it's saying, it's too tight, the muscle is too tight, let go. Why? Because otherwise you could rupture, break, cut the muscle. So this is a built-in safety system of the muscle, for any muscle. So if I push and then I pinch in the muscle belly, then the arm will go down, because the signal just went to my brain to say, this muscle is too tight, let go, let go. So now we have a weak muscle. If you do the contrary, so not pinching but moving it outside like this, then you are saying to the muscle and to the vertebra and to the brain, this muscle is too long, come on, make it stronger. So when you do like this, the muscle becomes strong again. So what we do in our pre-tests in Touch for Health, when we want to know if we can work with a muscle, we do the pinching. So we have a strong one, we pinch, it goes down, and we pinch out, and it becomes strong again. Other side, strong, pinch, pinch out. And as you can see, I'm not just doing this in my fabric. I'm really going in with my fingers into the belly of the muscle, so the muscle can react, and it's not just a suggestion. So what you can remember is that pinching is hurtful, it's not nice, so you get a weak arm. And the other thing looks like what you do with marbles, and playing with marbles is nice. So this gives you a strong test. So that's how I teach it, how you can remember. You can pause again and come back. Very good. So we've actually now learned the first step of the pre-tests of Touch for Health, and that's testing a muscle with the spindle technique, because we want to know if we can work with that muscle. The second test that we do is called a reversal. They're here on the front side of the body up till here, your lower lip, under the lower lip, the crest. There's a meridian flowing up. It's called the central meridian or the central vessel, and it feeds the front lobe of your brain. So this helps you to think clearly. When you're thinking too much, slow it down. When you're thinking too little, lift it up. So what we are going to do, we use just one arm here. We have one strong test. I'm going to lift it up by let my hand move in the direction of the meridian. I'm not touching my body. It's like this. And then I go to the lower lip, and then I test it's strong. And that's good, because that's what it needs to be. It needs to be strong. The flow, the meridian's flowing in that direction. Now I go against the direction of the meridian. You see, I cannot think anymore, I cannot speak anymore, and I have a weak test. That's logical. When you do it up again, it becomes strong. So your tests should be strong, weak, strong. So it looks like this. Strong. You always start with a strong test. Up, strong. Down, weak. Up, strong. Very good. If you have any kind of different results, you have 3 options to balance this meridian. One is by rubbing just with 2 fingers or 4 fingers here. You can put a hand on the belly button and rubbing here, and this is just above the pubic bone. And by rubbing this and then rubbing under the lip, you activate the meridian, and it will actually up, down, up, will work again. Another way how you can restore this is by making some confusion here. So you just brush the system, and you do 1, 2, 3 up, and then you have strong, weak, and strong again. And another way to do it is to do the hookups. So what we had before, long cross at your wrists, hands together, cross your ankles, close your eyes and do the breathing. Very good. Then you probably have a strong, weak, strong again. So now it's working perfectly. So now we have 2 tests and corrections for the pre-tests of Touch for Health. We have the muscle with the spindle cells for 2 arms, and we have the reversal. It's called reversal. Very good. Next step, we want to know if we have enough water in our system. So we pull some hair. We pull and then we push. I have enough, but if you pull and your arm goes down, just have some sips of water. Some people are so dehydrated they need even a glass or even 2. If after 1 glass they're not hydrated enough, give them some sea salt and some water. Maybe they're completely off balance with minerals. So now we have 3 tests for the pre-test. You can imagine if someone is very low in water, all your tests are being sabotaged, because you might be testing the eyes or a goal, but you get low muscles, you get weak muscles. You get weak muscles because they are not hydrated enough. But you think it's about the eyes or about the goal. So water is very important. If you're testing and it started very nicely and now at the end you think, everything is weak, check the water. Very often it's water. Okay, next one. We're going to test switching. And it looks like this. I'll just do it quickly and then I'll explain it to you. So if you have a strong test, you make this pistol again, you touch here, you're not rubbing, you just touch and then you test. Or you make a C and you touch just above and below the lip and you touch. Or with the whole hand on the crest of your behind, you just touch it and you test. Okay, I'll sit down then I'm a little bit closer and I'll explain to you what we're testing. And I'll have some more water. Have some more water. When I touch this, I'm actually checking if there is a switching between left and right. So people who have this is my left hand, and I can say, you need to go to the right. I know it's left. I'm using my left hand and I'm pointing in the left direction, but I'm saying right. That's a left-right confusion or switching. It's a neurological thing. Children who, when they start writing, they mix up the B's and the D's. They have a left-right confusion. So very many dyslexic children actually have a confusion here. And if they start rubbing this very often, they don't have it anymore. So it's not really a disease, it was just a blockage. Okay? And then you have the up, down. It also has to do with the eyes up and down. You can think of letters like the P and the B. Yeah, the P and the B, if you mix them up, because what are they? They're just a line and there's a round thing. And it means something else in every position. So if this is mixed, you mix them all up. So this helps with up and down, and it also helps with when you're reading, if your eyes jump on lines. So this helps you balance your eyes and balance the line that you're watching. The one I did, so this is up and down confusion, switching. It's also confusion between the mind and the heart, thinking and feeling. Some people, when they're stressed, can only think. They become very rational. And some people only can feel and cry and have all these emotions, but they have no brain left. So then this is a good idea to get it all connected again. And the other one I did was touching the coccyx. So that's the lower spine where your crest of your buttocks stops or starts. When you touch it there, it has to do with back and forth confusion. Also with past and future confusion. People that try to drive a car and drive backwards in their mirror, they have problems here. The ones who have this out of balance, they will probably have problems driving in their mirror. And people that have a hard time being in a now moment because there's so much in the past, or they're so worried about the future. Let's have some more water, guys. Thank you. I'll show you what it looks like when they're off and then do the correction with you. So if you have a strong test and then you touch this and the arm goes down, then it's off. It's very easy. Strong test and you touch this and it goes down, then it's off. And if you touch this and it goes down, then it's off. Corrections are hand on the belly button, making a little pistol, finding the dents and massaging. Do it for 10, 20, 30 seconds. Usually there comes a big sigh or a yawn. Change hands. And now probably if you do the retest, so strong test, touching, yeah, now it stays strong. And we do the other ones. Hand on the belly button, making a C, massaging lower and upper lip. Oh, very good idea. Change hands and massage with the other hand. Ooh, very good. Oh, this yawning. So if you test, touch, and you test, it stays strong. Perfect. Then we go to the back side. So you have a strong test, you touch, oh, it goes down. Okay, now we do a correction. Hand on the belly and you rub. And it is rubbing up and down. Not like this, because then you weaken the vertebra. But if you do it like that, you strengthen the meridian. And we do the other one. Maybe you notice that here we're doing 2 points, here we're doing 2 points, and here we do just one. Why? This whole system, Touch for Health, comes from America, and they're a little bit prudes, so they're not doing this because that's a no-go area. But if you do this, it will become strong as well. And if you don't mind touching yourself, you can do it like this and do it like that. And then you test again. Strong, touch, strong. Okay, so now they're all strong again. Yes. So what have we got? We have, for the pre-tests of Touch for Health, we have the spindles of the muscle. So we have a strong pinch. Yes, do it with me, yeah? And the more you do this, the more you do the sequence, the more you know if you have forgotten one. Then you do the reversal, so it's up and down and up. Very good. Water. Can we please have some more water? Thank you. So if I now test, yes, strong. And then we do the switchings. So very good. We go to the next one. We go to the eyes, and the eyes have 6 muscles per eye. We have muscles here for pulling the eyes up, muscles here for pulling the eyes down, we have muscles here for looking to the left, we have muscles there for looking to the right, and then we have oblique and we have oblique. and they help us to look into the corners. We do not correct them in Touch for Health, but we do have corrections for them. So if that is your problem, feel free to book a balance. Eyesight can be repaired in many cases. I've been helping many people to get rid of their glasses. And as you can see, 57 and not using glasses. I only use them for reading very close by, and mostly for the computer, because the screen I cannot read well. On my phone I read without glasses. So doing this often. If you are wearing glasses, take them off and do the testing and the balancing without the glasses on, and then your eyesight will become better. And after some time you need to go back to the opticien, I don't know what you call it. It's someone who gives you glasses and say, my eyesight is better. I like new glasses, please. And they'll look at you like, are you crazy? Eyesight only gets worse. No. I do brain gym, or I do kinesiology. So for eyesight, we're going to test close by, far away, close by, up, down, left, right. And it looks a bit like this. I have my arm a little bit higher now so you can see me. So this is a strong test. I look close by and I test. I look far away and I test. I look close by and I test. Close by is this. So it's 20-30 centimeters. Then I lift my hand and I follow with my eyes. And I lift my hand and I lower my hand and I follow with my eyes. And I go to the left and I go to the right. In this situation, everything was strong. But say you looked up and you had a weak test. So you did this and you had a weak test. Then the correction is 2 fingers rubbing above the lip and looking up. So you have your hand on the belly button, looking up, nose in the middle, and massaging. You can do this with only one hand, but you could, if you want, also do it with the other. But I think one hand is enough. If looking down was weak, so you look down and the arm was going down, then the correction is looking down with your eyes, hand on the belly button, and massaging under the lip. So doing this. Now you're giving energy to the muscles that pull your eyes down. If looking to the right was weak, so you have a strong test, you look to the right and your arm went down, then the correction is hand on the belly button, finding the right dent under the collarbone, keeping your nose in the middle and just your eyes to the right. So find a spot that you can look at, so you can put your eyesight there, and you give energy to your eyes that pull you to the right. Ooh. If the left side was off, so you had your arm that was strong and you looked to the left and your arm went down. Now the correction is one hand on the belly button, find the dent under the collarbone, keep your nose in the middle and let your eyes look to the left. And find a point that you can look at. Very good. Of course, when you've done a correction, so now I was doing it for the left, I have my nose in the middle, I look to the left and I test, and it's a strong test now. So now I know it has become strong. You do it for all the directions. Then you might ask, yes, Merel, but what do we do when it's close by or far away or close by? Then you do them all. So if it's close by, you do them all 4. So it's above the lip, under the lip, left side and right side, with the looking in the directions, of course. And if it was far away that it was off, you do the same thing. So you do up, down, left and right. Easy peasy, guys. And then you check it all again. So you have a strong test, You look close by, far away, close by, up, down, left, right. And this way your eyesight will become much, 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 much better. And you'll maybe live a very long life with healthy eyes. And you will not have to wear your glasses again. Is that not very nice? Why does nobody tell you? I'm telling you. That's why I make these videos, because kinesiology contains so many fantastic things that are so easy to do and nobody knows them, and they could heal so much. You don't need glasses. Very often you don't need hearing devices. We'll do that too. So for the ears, we'll first do the recap. What do we have? We have the strong arm, the pinch, goes down, strong. Very good. We have the reversal and up. We have the switching. Oh no, water, switching. We have the eyes. And now we get the ears. Yes. How do we do that? We have a strong arm. You look completely to the right, as far as you can go. And to the left. In my case, they were both strong, but if you have weak tests, 1 or 2, you massage your ears. So you start, I'm doing it on 2 sides. You massage the borders of your ears. When you start, they feel like chips, like very crispy. But when you do it a little bit more, they become nice and soft. And when you've done it 3 times, you pull them down and outside. And now you open the hearing canal. If you do it again, so you have a strong arm, and you look to the right, and you look to the left. Now your test is strong. So why is this important? This helps you hear better. This helps you relax your neck and get out of fight-flight, because the neck is connected to all the muscles in the back. And when there's tension here, you actually want to pull back because you feel unsafe. So this helps you feel safe. And it helps you also when people are speaking. You don't hear only the flat text, but also what they really mean. So this helps. And when you try to read, when you're reading inside your head, it might sound, you might not hear the sound, but in your head, you're vocalizing. So you're reading softly to yourself in your head. And by having your ears unlocked, reading goes a lot faster and a lot better. And you remember it better. So if you have a lot of studying to do, or you have a lot of work where you need to type a lot and read a lot, this is fantastic stuff. Or if you have to learn new languages, or like me, I'm Dutch and I'm making a presentation of more than 2 hours in English. And now is my English quite okay? And I still have to think of words. And when I've done that, it's easier. Just like when you've done the pace. If you know of yourself that ears are often off, do the pace and massage the ears. We call this the thinking caps in Brain Gym. Guys, we're going to jump for joy, I believe, because I think we just did all the pre-tests of Touch for Health. We'll do them again together. I'll stand. So, did you notice that I'm not doing the chemical one and the feeling one? Those are very nice tests to practice. But in the pre-test of Touch for Health, we don't do them. So, we have a strong test. We pinch, it becomes weak. We pinch out, and it becomes strong. We have the strong test. We pinch, it becomes weak. Pinch out and it becomes strong. Very good. We do the reversal. Up, strong. Down, weak. Up, strong. Pull some hair. Let's drink some water. We have some. Very good. Let's test again. Strong. Yeah, now it stays strong. We go to switching. Touch, touch, touch. Very good. Eyesight. Strong test. Look at your hand. Look far away. Look at your hand. Look to the up, down, left, right. Very good. And for the ears, right, left. That's it. That's it. And if you should find some imbalances while we're doing this, pause and do the correction. It's very simple, guys. The more often you do the correction, the less often it will occur, because you'll be balanced for that, and you'll stay balanced through the day. When you've had something that was very shocky, do the pace and do the pre-tests, because you will be out of alignment after the shock. But you'll get back to alignment very quickly after this. Very good. I'd love to know, in our Facebook group, we have a private Facebook group, and that's called QI Learn How to Muscle Test. And when you announce yourself, I'll just let you in. You can ask questions there if you had a remarkable thing. You've been wearing glasses your whole life and you're doing the muscle thing and you don't need your glasses anymore. I'd like to hear that. Do you mind? Please let me know. I love stories like that, so please let me know. And there will be non-Dutch speakers. Could be Dutch as well, but people that at least speak English. Otherwise this doesn't work, I think. Well, there will be subtitles. There will be subtitles to this video, and they will be in English. Of course, I'm not a native speaker, and YouTube does not always understand what I'm talking about, because this is rather specific language. So sometimes the subtitles, I don't check them all, because checking subtitles 2.5 hours of making movies is like a day work. So I'm not checking them all, and I know some of the words or some of the sentences are not correct. Imagine if you touch the YouTube video screen on the wheel and you say subtitles in Spanish or Italian or Chinese. It will translate whatever is written there. So if it's already written in a wrong way, it will absolutely translate in a wrong way. So maybe people that are not speaking English could even watch this video using the subtitles and putting them on their own language. I'm very curious how this works, but I see it happen in the future. So my Chinese is very, very, very bad. I think I know no words in Chinese, maybe 5 in Japanese, but it's not enough for a course, guys. So I'm letting that one go. I don't think I have to speak that. That's what I told you. I need to make some jokes. I will make cheat sheets, and they will be in the Facebook group. So when you go there, you will be able to find a PDF and download it to your own computer. Print it, put it in your purse or in your back pocket, so you always have them with you until you have automated the whole system. When you know it by heart, you don't need the cheat sheets anymore. But cheat sheets help you to learn it more easily. Now, and now, I will teach you a few more ways to muscle test. So you have learned the very nice way we do it in Touch for Health. And I was going to give you a summary on how to do it on somebody else. I'll do that first. So stand up, and we presume we have a gentleman that I may test, and his name is Harry. Not Harry like in that it has much hair. I mean Harry. So, welcome Harry. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being my my model. I would stand in front of him, but not completely directly in front, because on the front side we have our aura and we have our chakras, and if mine touches his energy field, we might influence each other and say he's completely out of balance. That might influence me in a negative way, and I don't want that. So normally I would just turn a little bit, so I would not be straight in front of him. I'm a right-handed teacher and toucher, so I love to hold the shoulder of Harry, the left-hand shoulder, and I'd like his arm to be in a 30-degree angle, so I can push it. And I'm standing a little bit twisted, so our bellies don't touch energetically. So I'm holding and I push. Why am I holding? Well, it's for the rapport. It feels completely different if you're just touching an arm, or you're holding someone and you're connected, and then you touch. Then you are like one unit. Which is very nice. And the other thing is, if you push, you might push someone off his feet, and you'll activate many more muscles than just the deltoideus anterior. So holding and giving the push, you remember, 2 seconds, 2 pounds, 2 inches. So that's a nice strong muscle. And I'd like to know if the pinch works. So I hold, I pinch, and the arm goes down. Very nice. And I do the outer pinch, so I do it like that, and I hold again, and it becomes strong again. Very nice. Now I step a little bit like this, so again our bellies are not in front of each other. I hold his shoulder, and I have this arm, and I push a little. Yes, it stays strong. I pinch. Here I pinch with the left hand, and I keep the hand on the shoulder. And it goes down, and I do the outer pinch, and it becomes strong again. Very good. So he's strong on 2 arms, or the muscles work on 2 arms. Thank you, Harry. We're going to do the reversal. So I hold his shoulder, I hold his arm, and I'm going to strike up the central meridian, and it's strong. And down, and it goes down. And up, and it becomes strong again. Very beautiful. So I pull some hair. That's very difficult because Harry actually is not so hairy, and he has no hair on his head, or he shaves, but he does have eyebrows. So I pull a little bit of eyebrow. Sorry, Harry, I didn't want to hurt you. And then I push down. So I offer some water to Harry. Here you go. Have a sip of water. There we go again. Strong test. I pull a little bit of the hair. And now it stays strong. So now he's had enough water. Very often when your client needs to drink some water, have some water too. So you're both hydrated and thinking clear and energetic and testing well. Yeah, so that's strong. Now I'm going to test for him the reversals, the switches. So here, here, and here. So I touch and it's strong. I touch and it's strong, and I touch his coccyx and it goes down. So this means that this one is off. So I'll show him, I'll demonstrate. I say, Harry, can you do this with me? Put a hand on your belly button and put a hand on your coccyx and massage like this. And I'll explain to him what it means, that he might be energetically influenced by other people, that it's hard to keep his energy whole, and that he might have a hard time focusing. Very good. Thank you, Harry. So I hold his shoulder again, I push his arm, I touch, and it stays strong. And we have a strong test. So the switching is good now. We'll be doing eyesight now. So I hold, I stand a little bit like this, I push, and I show close by, far away, close by. I show up and down, left and right, and it's all balanced. Very good, Harry. Harry doesn't wear glasses. If he was, I could have tested with and without. It's just a nice experiment. And then you would do the corrections. I hold again, and I let him turn his head to the right and to the left. Oh, the left one goes down. So I say, Harry, please do with me, massage your ears. We do it 3 times. Then pull your, I don't know what they're called, your lobes down and out. So your hearing will be better and your neck will be relaxed. I hold his shoulder again. I push. Harry, please look to the right and to the left. And it's strong. Harry, how do you feel? I feel, I don't know, vibrant, or I feel good, or I feel focused. Thank you, Harry. It was very nice to have you as a model. Please sit down again. Thank you. Of course, this is what I would be doing in my classes. I would have people there and I would ask them to volunteer and come up front, and I would do a demonstration and people would have a look, and then I would say, okay, go practice. So this you can do yourself. Practice on yourself, and now start practicing with other people. And just say, I did this course and I'm learning how to muscle test, and I really need to exercise and feel many muscles and many people. May I practice on you? Well, the only bad thing that can happen is that you feel better afterwards. You can say that. And mostly they would like it. So, and if they don't, then don't. Then move to someone that is kind and that would like this. I was going to show you a couple of more ways to muscle test. So, you can do the O-ring testing. So you have 2 O's and you combine them like a chain. And a strong test stays closed and a weak test opens. So yes, no. You can try it like that. Or my name is Merel. My name is Harry. You can do it like that. Or today we're eating rice, pasta, potatoes. We're eating cooked potatoes, French fries, mashed potatoes. We're eating vegetables? Yes. 1, 2, 3 vegetables. What goes nicely with mashed potatoes? Oh, I know. Courgette, aubergine, and paprika. Very nice. Shall we eat this with ground beef? No. With chicken? With fish? Let's have kabeljauw. Kabeljauw is, I think you call it, I don't know. It's a white fish. But we're going to eat it. It's very nice. I see a dish in the oven. Can we have some cheese on it? Yes, some cheese on it. Nice crispy from the oven. Oh. It's 6 years that I'm living in my bus. No oven, guys, so no crispy cheese. But they do here have fondue. So that's tranches of thick cheese that melts easily. And I do it in the pan and I eat it with rice crackers. Very good. So for what can you use these muscle tests now? Well, first thing is you keep yourself balanced. That's maybe the most important thing. You balance yourself every day, so your level of energy will go up. You'll be much clearer. You'll never be as tired. You will not procrastinate as much. You will not eat things that don't test well. You just saw how I did it. Another way, by the way, of testing is on your skin. So a strong test doesn't slide. So a strong test stays and a weak test slides. So if I look at the mashed potatoes, this is strong. But if I look at the French fries, it slides. You can do this with your hand in your pocket in the supermarket and nobody will know, and you come home with the perfect meal. You can either test if you're alone. You can test what's the best food for me, what should I eat tonight, or what's the best food for my whole family, so that we all have a meal that is good for all of us. And there will be compromises, but you'll probably find something. And rice crackers it is for the whole family. Why do I love so much about rice crackers? I eat them. I eat a lot of them. I eat them all the time. I don't eat bread anymore for 15-20 years. It made me very tired, and I love bread, but it's not handy. My body doesn't like it. And now, with all I know of what's in grains, so glyphosate is a poison that's being used. Many people think they have a gluten intolerance, but it's actually that they're poisoned so much by the glyphosate that their belly says, no more grains. So I don't know if I had that early on, but my belly said no, it would bloat, and after eating bread I would sleep for 2 hours. I was not capable of having a full and energized life. And you see me now, I've been 2 hours, and you can see it, but I cannot. And 36 minutes. And I'm still energized. Of course, talking about something I love helps, and doing balances helps. And I love to teach, and I'm very grateful you're here and that we can get the ball rolling. And the more people I can teach this material, and if it just stays here, if it just stays with this course and maybe the other course, QI, muscle testing and stress, I would really advise it to you. Then you already have a tool for life that might help you so much in choosing your food, where you live. Shall I go on a date tonight, or do I say no, go for a nice walk, have a bath, read a book and go to bed early? Feel, test. That's also an exception I would like to tell you. If you are completely balanced, so you did the pace and you did the pre-test, then your testing is quite good. If you test for the highest good of all, then your test will probably be very secure, very pure, like the tool of truth. The higher you get in your energy, in your consciousness, the purer the tests will be. But if you're low, and if you're testing for something that is for your highest good, and not for the highest good, you might want to test, does he love me? Should I go out on a date with him? Should I marry this guy? Things like that. Then you're not using the tool the way it should be. In kinesiology, when you go further than just the tools I've given you, you are able to balance your system. You are balancing your body, the systems in your body. You are balancing your energy, your hormones, your immune system. All can be balanced with kinesiology in a very practical way. We use the muscle test to find the imbalance, and we use the muscle test to find the correction. So you always get tailor-made balances. I can work with 10 people with headaches, and they all 10 have a different reason why they have a headache. And I find it with a muscle test, and I do a correction for them. And then if I can, because I now only work online, 4 times a year I work physically in Delft with where Niels lives, but normally I work online behind my computer, and I type the correction I'm doing so they can do it themselves. And they don't have to have headaches anymore, because if you understand why you were getting them and you heal that, why should you have headaches? So you start feeling so much better if you use kinesiology. You become much brighter, much more intelligent. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll make better decisions. If you are balanced, so is your company. If you are blocked, so is your company. Your company cannot grow higher or bigger or taller than you are. So work on yourself and your company will flourish. Move, learn, bloom. Of course, from where you're now, if you want to go on with me, I have 13 books in English. I have the Deep Programming series, 3 books and 3 online trainings. They belong together. I have the QI muscle testing and stress. By the time you watch this, I probably have much more. So just look on selfanizer.com, look under books, look under online courses, and see what there is and what you would like. There's a very nice training about the crystalline city. I always work with my crystals in front of me. They help me stay clean and pure and balanced, and these balance the whole group that will be watching. But there's 12 of them, and there are 12 codes. I made a masterclass of this, so you can find it there. And what other training do I have there? Oh yeah, the training that belongs to Love, Help, Heal the World. I wrote this book when I was driving to Brittany, and I heard Christina von Rijen, she's a Swiss young lady, say if all people could be happy one day, all unlight, so that which is not light, will be gone. They will have nothing to feed off. There's no fear, there's no anger. The world will change. We will create a new earth. And the only thing I could think, A, is this true? B, what can I do about it? And that's when I wrote Love, Help, Heal the World. And it's 12 different techniques. Many are kinesiology, but it's also some other things like visualization and meditation. And if you do this, your consciousness goes up and you have less fear, less anger, less addiction, and you're more loving. And Abraham Hicks says 1 in alignment is more powerful than 1,000,000 that are not. So please be the one that's in alignment. And with this book, you get free 12 videos. And they're very nice, and you could do them. There was a link to what I was saying, but I don't remember. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the other training on the courses on selfanizer.com. I hope you feel well. Please let me know in the group. If you have questions, please let me know in the group. If you want a buddy to work with, ask in the group. Maybe there's someone in your country, or you can do it online with a Zoom call or a Teams meeting. If I'll do anything physical and live, I will announce it in the group, and you could come there if you like. And that's it for now, I think. I'm very grateful you were here and that you took the time to listen to all this. And I hope it made sense. And if not, I hope it was at least amusing, or you feel uplifted by the energy and my enthusiasm. And hope to see you again on my platforms. I'm very busy always with... The gentleman came back. I'm always very busy with being active on social media, because I study a lot, and I study every day. And when I have insights on how to apply things, natural things, to make life better, to be happier, healthier, and to live your mission here on earth, I will write about it. I will post about it. So that's always on my socials, and I will talk about it in my newsletter. Which you will be on which you will receive because you have purchased a product of mine. If you don't like it, you can unsubscribe. And So if I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on YouTube. So follow which one you like. One that could be very nice for you now that you're learning how to muscle test better and better. On YouTube, .com, and then you have a slash, and then you have an @ and then you write Movimento, which is my company, Merel Slotboom. So that's my name. If you write it all, then you get more than 100 videos with all kinesiology balances on various topics. And just by watching the video, you feel better because you get a whole kinesiology balance. And it's very nice to see me do exactly what I just told you, because I practice what I preach. And this is what I do. So it will help you ingrain into your system. Oh, she's doing that. Oh, yeah, that was off. Yes, of course. Now she's doing that correction. Of course, yes. Logical, because that's how you do it. So you'll get used to it. You'll feel, oh, okay, yeah. This is a technique. And if you watch other kinesiologists, they'll probably be doing exactly the same thing. So, because this is the general thing, touch for health. It's the root, it's the trunk of the big tree. So almost everybody starts with touch. If there's anything else, let me know. Cheat sheets will be in the group. Just practice. And I hope to see you in the next one, QI, muscle testing and stress. For me, that will be tomorrow, but I don't know when it will be for you. Thanks a lot. Be well, do a lot of testing, and raise your vibration.